Hey guys, Namaste. Our today's class 2 is going to be on page settings. Generally, we can see that we are able to design our projects on single page very easily. But whenever we undertake any big project of multiple pages for designing, we get little confused. This video aims at giving you some more insight on page setting and page layout. So let's move ahead. This in front of us is the welcome screen of Coreldraw. So let's click on the new blank document over here. We are now able to see this dialog box. We have already explained about this in our class 1, which was on Coreldraw interface. If you have not seen it yet, then I recommend you to first watch that video. We have also provided its link in the description box. So let's move ahead and click on OK. So as we can see, this is our new blank document. Before moving ahead towards the explanation of page settings and page layout, we are going to draw an object over here so that you will get a better insight over the page settings concept. Let's draw a rectangle and fill it with red color. Guys, I recommend you to practice along with me to understand the concept of page settings clearly. Now as we can see that we have drawn a rectangle on our page 1. We can see that over here. On the left side of page 1, we can see 1 of 1 over here. It means that we are on page 1 and total number of pages in our document is 1. So to insert pages into our document, we can add pages by clicking on this plus sign over here, like this. Now we are on page 3 of our document. And as we can see, over here 3 of 3. That is, we are on the third page of our document and total number of pages are 3 in our document. We can also see that page 3 has been highlighted in light blue color. Now, if we will click on page 1 over here, we can see 1 of 3. That is, we are now on page 1 and total number of pages are 3 in our document. Now on the left side of this plus sign, we can see this arrow over here. I will zoom over it for you. If we click on this arrow, then we can go to our last page in our document. That is page 3. And here on the left side, if we will click on this arrow, we will go to our first page of our document. I hope you are understanding it properly. So let's move ahead. If we click on this arrow over here, we are able to move on to our next page of the document, that is page 2. And if we will click once again on it, then we are on the page number 3, like this. Similarly, by clicking on this arrow, we can go to the previous page, that is one page backwards, page 2 and page 1. We can also click on the page over here and directly go onto that page. That is, if we will click on page 2 or page 3, then we can go to that page respectively. But when the number of pages increases in our document, then these arrows are useful while working. I would like to give you a useful tip. Suppose if we have 100 pages in our document, we are on the first page and we want to go directly to our page number 50. For that, we are going to click on this 2 of 3 over here. So we are now able to see this dialog box of go to page. It appears in front of us like a genie. We just have to enter the number of page over here in this box. Let's enter page 3. So we can see that our plane has landed directly on page number 3. Moving ahead, let's draw an ellipse. We can say a circle on page number 3 and right click on page 3 over here. So we can see one more genie has appeared in front of us. The very first option is rename page. So let's rename our page 3 to circle. We can see that over here. Now again we will right click our page circle and our next option is insert page after. By this we can insert one page after our current page. So we can see page 4 has been inserted after page 3, that is circle. Now we can also insert a page after our second page like this. So we can see that page 3 is inserted after page 2. We can also insert a page by clicking on this plus sign. Now let's right click on page 3 and insert page before. That is our next option. By clicking on it, we can insert one page before our current page. Here we can see page 3 has been inserted before page circle. Now we will go one step backwards with the undo command, that is Ctrl Z. Is the shortcut key for undo command. We can also undo the command by clicking this arrow over here. And this is the redo command, that is opposite of undo command. And its shortcut key is Ctrl plus Shift plus Z. Now let's right click here and move towards our next option, that is duplicate page. This is the dialog box of duplicate page. We can see in it duplicate page, and in front of that there is the number and the name of the current page. Below that we can see insert new page. There are two options in front of it: before selected page and after selected page. Over here we have to decide that whether we want to duplicate our page before our current page or after our current page. So let's select after. Now guys, kindly understand this concept also. It's easy. Over here we can see copy layer only, and below that copy layers and their contents. Layer means our page. So let's select our first option and click on OK. We can see that only the layer has been duplicated, but the contents are not duplicated. So let's duplicate our page circle again. Now let's select the copy layers and their contents option. Then we will duplicate the layer, that is our page, along with the object, that is circle. So now we understand that the objects on our page are our contents. So we can see our page 3 and 4 have same contents. Now let's delete page 4 and 5 with the help of our next option over here, like this. Moving ahead, our next option is switch page orientation. It's portrait right now. We can switch it to landscape from here. And if we want to switch back to the portrait, we can click on this option again. This option is also available over here, portrait and landscape. So guys, now we have covered all our page setting options. Let's move towards our layout menu. It's over here in the menu bar. The very first option over here is insert page, and this is the genie of insert page, that is the dialog box. You can see the number of page. We will enter the number of pages that we want to insert. Next, in the place, we will decide whether to insert before or after. In existing page, we have to mention that page number before which or after which we want to insert the pages. We can decide the size, width, height, units of measurement and orientation of the pages that are to be inserted. The next option is duplicate page, which we have already covered earlier. Similarly, our next option, rename page, has also been covered earlier. So let's move on to our next option. Below the rename page is delete page. So now we are able to see the genie of delete page. Over here we can see the delete page and a box in front of it. We will enter the page number of that page which we want to delete. We can also see a small box before through page option. Let's keep it off and click OK. Then we can see that we have deleted our page 3. Over here we can see that. Let's undo our command, Ctrl Z. Now let's go to the delete page option. Now if we want to delete 2 or more pages, then we will insert the number 2 in this first box, and as we click on this through to page box, then that option gets activated. Then we can enter the number of the another page. By this we will delete the pages through page number 2 to page number 3. If our document has 50 pages and we want to delete pages from 11 to 40, then we can enter those numbers and delete the pages. Now let's add a page in our document and move ahead towards our next option, that is insert page numbers. First option is on active layer, that is we can insert numbers only on our active layer, that is our current page. The next option in insert page number is on all pages. With this we can insert numbers on all the pages in our document like this: page 1, 2, 3 and 4. Okay. So let's undo our command, Ctrl Z, and our next option is on all odd pages. With the help of this option, we can add numbers only on the odd pages in our document. Now we can see the numbers on page 3 and 1. And the pages 2 and 4 are blank without any numbers. Let's undo the command. Now we can see the next option, that is on all even pages, is inactive. So to activate it, we will first go to the even page, that is page 2 or page 4 in our document. Now we can see that the option of on all odd pages is inactive, whereas the option of on all even pages is activated. By clicking on it, we can insert pages on page 2 and page 4. And pages 1 and 3 are without numbers. We can see that. Let's move towards our next option, that is page number settings. Over here, in start number at, we will enter the starting number from which we want to start our numbering. For example, let's start from 3. Start on page is the next option. We will mention the number of page from which we want to start the numbering. Let's enter number 2 in it. Below that, in styles, we have the styles of numbering, that is numbers, Roman numbers and alphabets. So let's select Roman numbers and click on OK. So we have successfully completed the settings of page number. Now we will insert the numbers on all pages. And we can see our page 2 has Roman number 3 and page 3 has Roman number 4, and our page 1 is without any number. Guys, now let's move towards our next option, that is go to page. We have already covered this earlier. So let's move on to the next option, that is switch page orientation. We can also switch the orientation of our document from here. Our next option is page setup. We can change the setup of our pages from here. We can change the size of our page. Currently it's A4. Let's select A3. Over here we can see the width, height, and we can also change the unit of measurement. This is the page orientation. It's portrait currently. Let's change it to landscape. Over here we can see apply size to current page only option. If we will activate this option, then the changes that we made over here will be applied to our current page. And if we will keep this option off, then we will apply the changes to every page that we will add after this. The next option is show page border. Guys, this is our page border. If we will turn it off, then we can see that our page border has disappeared. So let's turn the borders on again. Next option is add page frame. Let's click on it and click OK. So we are able to see a frame, a border to our page. We can also shift it. So now let's get back to the page setup. Over here we can see resolution. We will set it at 300 dpi. The next is bleed. I am going to make a separate video on bleed, as it's the most important part of graphic designing and printing. Let's select this frame and delete it first. So moving ahead, the next option is page background. Right now we have no background option selected. Let's click on solid and select a color. Then we can see a background to our page. Let's go back again to the page background. Over here we have bitmap option. We will simply select any image, import it and click on OK. We can see that image as our page background. But mostly guys, we don't use this page background option as it creates a lot of disturbance during the designing process. So we are always going to select the no background option. Below that we can see the bitmap size. These are the settings for bitmap options. Currently it's default. We can also customize it like this. Now we can see the size of our image has changed. The last option is the toolbar of layout. We will activate it and we can see this is our toolbar of layout. We can also adjust this toolbar into our interface of Coreldraw if needed, like this. So guys, this was the complete explanation of page settings and page layout. I hope you liked the video. So please don't forget to hit the like button and share. I am also waiting for your comments, and yes guys, please don't forget to subscribe my channel Let's Simplify. It will definitely help you to improve your graphic designing skills. Thank you.